What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum. I've got one package to show you today, but as you can see, I had to zoom the camera out, or actually put the camera a little bit higher because this is a larger box than I would normally open. But this box cost me $100, and inside you're going to see over 100 what I would call through the mail autographs. So this is somebody's autograph collection from when they were younger, and judging by some of the names and signatures that were in there, it looks like it's from the early 90s. So I kind of consider that as part of the context. Okay, now that everything's unwrapped here, my plan is that, I don't know every single autograph in here. A lot of these are baseball. You guys know I'm a basketball guy. I mean, I do know some baseball, but I'm going to try to put the autograph on one side of the screen, and then I'll put a graphic of who it is if I look it up later and figure out who it is. So without further ado, here we go. So like I said, this is over 100, so this is going to be a little while, but I think you'll enjoy. So, okay. So first one we've got Warren Spahn. This looks to be Carl Lewis. This is a tennis player. I have no clue who this is. And also, just because these are in here, like I said, these were through the mail, it doesn't guarantee that they're all good. There's one auto pin that I know of in the entire lot, so I'll get to that one eventually. But these are Hall of Famers. I mean, these are pretty common, these postcards, like Robin Roberts here, and it says on these who they are. So George Kell, I want to say there were multiple George Kell autographs in this lot. Al Barlick, who was an umpire. Now this gentleman here, even though this is a Phillies item, he also played in, I want to say, the two of the early basketball leagues, like the NBL and the, I think, BAA in the mid to late 40s. So there's an index card of him in there, though, that's not him pictured as a Philly. So I'll probably keep the index card and eventually move this Phillies one. We got Phil Rizzuto here. It's personalized to Scott, but still a nice autograph. So a lot of these will be personalized to Scott. We've got Rick Farrell, Enos Slaughter. So all of those I feel good about. And, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't do autographs in the mail in the 90s, but, I feel pretty good about those. No signature here. Not all of this stuff will have signatures. Here we've got a lot of Dwight Smith autographs. Some random MLB guys. No big names here. I'll have to look. I don't know if the Mark Graces were actually ghost signed or not. I seem to remember him having a stint where they might have been. These are unsigned Dwight Smith rookies. Another thing I noticed looking at this lot, there was a lot of just Chicago stuff. Look at that, Mike Singletary. But a lot of Chicago stuff. So even some of the ones that I wasn't super sure about when I was looking at the description, I could kind of figure out they were Chicago. It's like just pages of Dwight Smith. Nothing signed here. This was out of a magazine. Some unsigned football. All right. Good little variety here, including Andre Dawson. You've got Jim Quick, who is an umpire. Cecil Fielder. Was never able to get him in person. Steve McMichael, Hermongo. Cy Block. Those are actually kind of rare. Lou Whitaker. Now, here's one down here that intrigues me. Because I know there was a stint where Reggie signed through the mail. And I know that he signed the letter M probably up until the mid-90s with his autograph. So my my gut reaction is that this Reggie is actually good, which, hey, that's an exciting find for me as a Pacers fan. I am going to post it on sportscollectors.net, which is my favorite site for autographs. I'll post it on there, get some opinions on that. I feel pretty good about that one, though. I'm going to set it to the side here so I don't knock it off or anything, but remember that one for later. Got some unsigned football. Got some BJ Armstrong. Remember, a lot of Chicago stuff, unsigned. All right, let's move all this out of the way. All of the Dwight Smiths. I knew there was some Dwight Smith in there. I didn't realize there was that many. So when I said 100 autographs, I don't even think I included all of those Dwight Smiths. Okay, next up. And so a lot of these are index cards. This is not signed. That's just the Facsimile Monticello's cards. So these are not. So this is signed here. That one I want to say is probably about at least a $20, $25 card signed. These are not signed. We've got Chris Evert, which not Jim. Don't want to confuse the two of them. Paul Tagliabue, that would be nice if it was signed. I think he signed through the mail at one point. It is not. So these, I'm not going to spend a lot of time with those. Okay. On to the autographs. Some of these, some of you are going to be baseball guys, and you're going to look at these and be like, oh, of course, this is so-and-so. Whereas, I am going to have to look some of these up and no, they're not written on the back. I try to write mine on the back when I get them. All right, so hopefully these are focusing in. I'm away from my camera, so I can't see directly what's getting in there. I know Buck Leonard, that's a Negro League player. Looks like another Phil Rizzuto. I looked this one up. I don't remember which one this is, but like I said, I'll put them on the screen once I figure out who they are. I know Arnold Palmer. I don't know if it's good, though. I know at least when I was sending through the mail, which would have been, much later than the 90s, he had several auto pins that he used. So the trick was always to measure the length of the signature. So I'm going to have to post that one and get some opinions. If that one's good, that would be a big bonus here. We've got Greg Louganis. This is a baseball one. I looked this up. Another Warren Spahn. I know Warren Spahn. I know Duke Snyder. Isn't this Moose, right? Isn't that who this is? Another Slaughter. I know Bob Lemon. Okay. Another decent name here. Not worth a lot. I mean, a lot of these older baseball guys, some of these Hall of Famers, they were pretty good signers. Now, this is a good indicator of, the era. Like I said, I thought a lot of these were early 90s, and then when you see something like this, when the signer signs the date on there, that kind of helps date the rest of the stuff too. Doesn't mean they were all sent within the same time frame, but it's a pretty good indicator. Same thing here. So Rick Farrell on this one added that date on there, January of 1991. Here's the gentleman I talked about earlier. Played basketball in the 40s as well as baseball. This is even though I like the Reggie Miller, this is the main reason why, the main one I should say that I'm going to keep in the lot. This is Chuck Connors. I'm going to cover this other one here. Don't look. This is Chuck Connors. He was a Brooklyn Dodger. He was a Boston Celtic. But more importantly, I remember my dad watching him on TV all the time as the Rifleman. So that's one. I've been wanting a Chuck Connors autograph for years. I've never bought one because they are kind of pricey. This is probably close to the price of the entire lot. Like I said, I paid $100 for all of this. It's a great lot. So very happy about that. This Nolan Ryan, unfortunately, even though it's smudged, it's an auto pen. This is a pretty common one that the Rangers sent out in the early 90s once again. So knowing your context and knowing your years and studying your context helps. Because if I had just seen that as a show, I wouldn't have known. We've got Phil Niekro here. Another fairly common baseball guy. Now, we do have some basketball, like Hershey Hawkins here. He's always been a pretty good signer. Got Billy Herman. Johnny Mize. This is John Paxson. This one I looked at for a little bit, and I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and I thought, oh yeah, Chicago connection. Pretty sure that's Ron Rivera because he was number 59 on the Bears. Riverboat Ron. Whew. Good thing I've got some friends that do a lot of autographs, so some of these I'd love to say, hey, yes, I know who this is. Some of these I'm just going to have to show them. Like that to me looks like Rita Wilson. I don't know. I really don't know. This one I looked up. Roy Smalley, I think is who that is. John W. Smith was a wrestler. I think he won gold at Barcelona in '92. Oh wow. So is that Billy Williams? Like some of these were not in the picture. Like I didn't know there was a second Chuck Connors. That's great. Wow. Some of these were definitely not in the picture when I purchased this lot. And Bobby Doerr, here's a more common one. Great signer. That dude signed until he died in his late 90s, I think. And he was pretty much signing up until the end. I think the family has said, please stop. But he loved his fans. A couple of George Kells there. This was a boxer. I know Larry Boa. I know that one. There's another Hall of Famer. We've already seen one from him. Some guys were nice enough to put their team on there. This one to me looks like an older Phil Jackson signature. But I'm going to have to ask some friends and do a little research on some of these. We've got another Al Barlick. There's some entertainment ones in here that we haven't got to yet that I think some of you are going to enjoy. Oh, that was Billie Jean King, by the way. Another Phil Necro. Stan Musial. I think this is another side block. So we saw him earlier. Jim Quick, we saw him earlier. He was in a umpire. Do you recognize this one? The King. I believe that's Richard Petty. Like, actually, yes, that is Richard Petty. I don't just believe it. I know that one's Richard Petty. Getting to the bottom of this stack here. Maybe I passed up some of the entertainment ones, or maybe they didn't get included in there like I thought they were. That one, former Chicago Bull, Will Purdue. Okay, so some of the ones that I didn't see included, there was like Shirley Temple, some entertainers, some horror stars. So those would have been nice to have in there as well. So I might reach out and see kind of what the deal was. But anyway, got all that for $100. I'm pretty excited about, learning in the process, learning some of these autographs. And there's some I'm still going to need help with, even after consulting some people. So anyway, there you have it. Remember, there are new episodes of the audio podcast that come out every Thursday. And thanks for watching.